Campaign Diaries, Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. Session 2, January 7th, 2021. On today's session, we opened here in Bremen in the Buried Treasures Inn with Cora, the innkeep, picking up after the adventurers, and she tells her heartfelt story about how her son Huar has been taken by tieflings who wear the same black ice pendant that she had found under her son's bed. This black ice, she chipped off a piece and showed the adventurers, and Guba, the artificer, recognizes this as Shardlin, in itself non-magical but easy to enchant material that is colloquially known as black ice up here in Icewind Dale. The enchantments that it tends to take are those of dark magic. Goober recognizes this, and Cora asks to hold on to it. She says that the tieflings took her son Huarwar to a castle. She knows of a couple castles in Icewind Dale, but they're a little bit far away. Drax asks to see Cora's hoo-ha. Anyways, the party then makes it over to Ewan's Trinkets, which is just a couple doors down, the only shop left in Bremen. And here they meet the eccentric halfling, who is very excited to sell his random magical items that he has acquired, and is less excited to sell the more mundane things, of which there aren't a whole lot in stock. Gooba is pretty happy with most of the supply, however. The party buys various magical things, which is all in all very interesting, and we'll get to that later. The party then decides to head back out and talk to some fishermen, like perhaps searching for some elementals. Gooba doesn't find any with the lantern of tracking elementals, but she does talk to a fisherman and ask to gut his catch for him, the ice fisherman. He's very happy to have someone else do that work for him, and Gooba guts the fish, doesn't find exactly what she's looking for. The party then traveled north. Gooba had spotted a cave a little bit on the north shore there of Bremen, not too far away. Thinking they might find an elemental, they instead find some tracks of a beast as Bumble, the Goliath druid, is able to quickly spot these, and she says, well, we should follow these. They follow it up into the lair of a dire wolf and two smaller wolves. Bumble attempts to befriend these wolves, but they're not charmed. They are hungry, and they attack, and we enter the first real combat of the entire campaign here. There's a lot of back and forth, and a lot of things have trouble specifically hitting, but eventually the party is able to succeed without taking major damage, and the wolves fall. Night is coming pretty quickly now. Daytime doesn't last very long here in the Dale. Drax decides to pick up the direwolf and hurry it back to town. He uses a rage to make it back without exhaustion. Makes it back very quickly. Bumble, the Goliath, is able to easily carry back the other two corpses of the other wolves. They make it back to town and butcher the wolf carcasses in the common room of the Buried Treasures Inn. Cora's at first horrified, but is happy to accept some rations as payment. Drax makes a helmet out of the direwolf's head, which is very distracting, and Bumble convinces Cora to try to utilize some seamstress skills to try to turn two wolf pelts into a full cloak to be a useful piece of winter clothing. Cora advises the party to stay the night, and they're pretty happy to oblige. And in the meantime, Gooba heads back out to the fishermen and continues gutting fish, not finding what she wants. But they pay her a little bit for her services. Back at the inn, about 7 o'clock, Cora points up to the north to the sea of moving ice, and the aurora borealis begins to appear. Cora describes this as Auriel the Frostmaiden, casting her spell upon Icewind Dale to keep it in eternal winter. She says that there are a few other flickering lights down on the ground. She calls those the cold light walkers, those who have been sacrificed, and they are now the walking undead that serve the Frostmaiden. They look up to her, these spots of light, and the session ends. A few good quotes here, and I'm not going to try to do a good Scottish accent. However, Bumble, the Goliath druid, has nicknamed the small goblin artificer Wee Granny Gooba, and involving one of the magical trinkets that was bought from Ewan's trinkets. The fruit fairy perhaps will visit Drax this evening. That ends this session recap, and I'll thank you all for watching. Have a good one.